I just got three things to say. God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start your engine!
All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Jeff Oakes, Richie Joplin at the front row. Mark Nelson, Rod Potgieter on the second. Daryl Klotz and Kevin Bruner on the third row. Gil Guac, Jess Chambers on the fourth. Derek Schilling, Tim St. Jean round out your top 10. James Lacey starts in 11th with Gerald Thanos Poole in 12th. Mike Burgess starting at 13th, Thomas Byram 14th, and John Shermont rounds out the 15-car field here at Road America. Cars begin to roll off for the formation lap. Hey, good evening, Sketch. Everybody out here looking to go fast here tonight.
I feel the need for speed. Ow.
They are ready to go. Thomas Byram and John Shermont do not take to the grid. Well, Sketch, I hope you have a great night, buddy. Get a good night's sleep. Appreciate you coming by as always. Drivers going single file through some of these turns on the pace lap just to keep the cars out of trouble. And I'm guessing some of these drivers are clutching through here. That full pace lap is definitely going to have an impact on the fuel window. Remember, we said 10 to 12 laps on a tank of fuel. The Porsche pace car leads them down that long back straightaway. Isn't really a true straightaway, a little bit of a curve to it, as you can see there on the map. And the track temperature has actually gone up. Track temp now 121 degrees. We'll keep an eye on that throughout the race. I can promise you it's going to cause some cars to slip slide away here tonight. Sketch, if you find anything good, buddy, let me know. They stack up for the start. Porsche pace car hits pit road. Over the top of the hill they come.
Here we go, green flag. Boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's go racing, boys.
Down and away at Road America, side by side as they head off into turn one. Oaks outbreaks into the lead. Everybody makes it through so far. Everybody making it through turn one clean. Richie Joplin into second. Mark Nelson in third. Jeff Oaks is gone. Oaks already has a 3-second lead. Daryl Claude's looking to the inside on the Mark Nelson for third. What a move by Claude. Gil Guac already up one spot into sixth. Daryl Klotz now into third after starting at fifth, closing the gap on second place, Richie Joplin. That's kind of, I've got the space for it though, Sketch. Mike Burgess has had an off track back behind. We'll wait till the end of lap one, then show you what has happened. Back behind, as of right now, that is the only incident. Rod Podgeter in fifth is closing in on Mark Nelson. Gil Guant, Kevin Brunner also closing in. Derek Schilling up to eighth now on the attack. And Jeff Oaks will lead lap number one and is 3.5 seconds ahead at the end of the first lap over Richie Joplin. Let's take a look at the incident with Mike Burgess. Mike coming through that holy cow. Just the back end starts sliding. He goes out, and Gil Guac has had an issue. Gil had been making his way forward down into turn one, overshoots into the gravel pit. Gil gets it straightened out, but ends up towing it in. Meanwhile, Jeff Oaks holds a 3.5 second lead over Richie. Daryl Klotz in third, the Mark Nelson in fourth. Rod Podgeter right on Mark's bumper in fifth. Rod, hold on to her, buddy. Rod was a little squirrely coming out of that carousel. Mike Burgess has gone off track and gone to pit road. Right behind Gerald Thanos Poole. Oh, snaps loose hard into the tire wall. Man, a heartbreak for Mike, and looks like that engine has let go. And remember, this league does not have fast repairs. Rod Potgieter had a problem a moment ago. He has recovered the car. Gil Guac is officially out of the race. Mike Burgess is sitting on pit road. If he can get the car repaired and get back out on track, he could pick up another spot before the night's out. And obviously you can park there, JR. He did it. Now, we saw this out of Jeff Oaks when they were at Circuit of the Americas last season. Keep an eye on the back end of that car. He spent half the race drifting through the turns and running away with it. Jeff definitely knows how to put the power down, slide these stock cars around the turns. He is going to be tough to beat. It's going to take a mistake by Oaks for anybody else to have a chance tonight. Richie Joplin still holds on to second, 4.5 seconds back now. Darrell Claude still holds third, Mark Nelson in fourth. Rod Potgieter had been right on Mark's bumper but has lost some ground after his incident a moment ago. Jess Chambers has had an incident. Let's take a look at Rod and Jess. Rod down the front straightaway toward turn one, misses his braking point, off through the sand, keeps his foot in it. Gets back on track, but lost a ton of ground. Jess Chambers down that back straightaway. Overshoots into that sharp right-hander. He quickly gets it back out on track, and James Lacey has had a problem. James locks up the brakes into the right-hander. He goes wide. Gets her going the right direction yet again. Rod Potgieter, now in fifth, is about to have his hands full. Derek Schilling on the attack. Mark Nelson has gotten back past Darrell Claude to retake third. Points leader Tim St. Jean up 2 spots into 8, doing exactly what he needed to do tonight to maintain that points lead. And Gerald Thanos Poole now in the top 10. He is in 9th, already up 3 spots. Meanwhile, back down the front straightaway, Jeff Oaks continuing to just walk away from the field. A 5.9 second lead. There you see through turn 2, just a little bit of drifting. Keep an eye on him as they go into turn 3, left-hander. Well, no sliding on that one, but keep an eye throughout this race. On Oaks, he is known for sliding it through the turns and going extremely fast doing it. Jess Chambers and Tim St. Jean have both had problems. Jess coming down toward turn 2, overshoots into the gravel. Stays on the power quickly, recovers the car back onto the straight. A few moments later, on the back straightaway toward that sharp right-hand turn, just loses the back end, slides it across the track, but keeps it out of the tire wall. And points leader Tim St. Jean looks like he's coming toward turn 2. He locks him up and goes through the gravel. Richie Joplin had a brief off track a moment ago and has now lost even more ground to Oaks. He is now 9 seconds behind now. Mark Nelson is closing in on Richie, just 1.4 seconds back. Rod Potgieter trying to run Daryl Klotz back down. Richie Joplin had a big off track. In turn 2, he has lost second. And may lose third. Here comes Klotz at full send. Down into turn 3, we saw Klotz make a move here earlier. Doesn't get it this time. Derek Schilling, Kevin Bruner both had problems a moment ago. Schilling in front, Bruner right behind. Kevin just followed Schilling around. Both of them get going again. And a few moments later, Derek Schilling, who had been making moves all night long, headed toward turn 3, just overshoots, completely missing his braking point, and Bruner goes by. Jeff Oaks' lead continuing to grow. Mark Nelson now in second, almost 12 seconds back after just 5 laps. Richie Joplin now in third, struggling to keep Klotz behind him, but Klotz seems at the moment to be faster, and he will have the draft down the front stretch. Ron Potgieter back in 5th, who had problems earlier trying to recover. Kevin Bruner now in 6th. Derek Schilling to 7th. Gerald Poole now up 4 spots into 8th. Points leader Tim St. Jean currently in 9th. And Jess Chambers still holds on in the top 10 despite problems earlier. James Lacey now in 11th. Mike Burgess on pit road in 12th. Gil Guanc, John Shermont, Thomas Byram out of the race. Mark Nelson in second is gaining no ground on the leader. The only thing that could stop Jeff Oakes right now is if he makes a mistake. But so far, he has been perfect since the drop of the green. Richie Joplin in third. Klotz still right at a second behind in fourth. Rod Potgieter back in fifth is closing that gap. However, he was 5.5 seconds behind. Now down to 5.3. Does look like Potgieter getting through some of these turns a bit quicker. Kevin Bruner. Oh, Derek Schilling off track. Keeps it out of the wall and keeps going. However, that has given Tim St. Jean and Gerald Poole a little help. They are closing back in on Schilling quickly. Starting to see more and more cars go off track just a little bit as tire wear is becoming a problem. Track temperature still 121 degrees at the moment. So the guys are definitely having their tires get ate up here. They are definitely looking forward to going and getting 4 fresh Goodyears in just a few laps. Last time by, Mark Nelson was, for the first time tonight, faster than the leader. And that is the only time tonight that anybody has been faster than Jeff Oakes. However, only about 0.3 of a second faster, and he is still 12 seconds back. Darrell Klotz has lost some ground to Richie Joplin. Klotz now 3.2 seconds back in fourth. Kevin Bruner in sixth behind Potgieter in fifth. He was about 8.5 seconds back, has started closing that gap. Now down to about 7.8. Derek Schilling currently running in seventh. Derek has been off track a few times, but continues to fight back. However, Tim St. Jean and Gerald Poole are closing the gap on Schilling. St. Jean now just over 2.5 seconds behind Schilling. And Gerald Poole about 2.5 seconds behind St. Jean. Darrell Klotz has had a problem back behind. Klotz was in fourth, trying to close the gap on Richie. Let's see what happened. Coming over the top of the hill into the left-hander. on the power, loses all rear grip. Gets the car straightened out, but not before Potgieter can get alongside and take the position. "11 laps to go for Jeff Oaks, his lead holding around 12 seconds over Mark Nelson. They will have to make a pit stop in the next 2 to 3 laps. They will need fuel, and everybody is one tires right about now. Gerald Poole lost some ground, went off track a couple of times, and has lost some ground to Tim St. Jean, now 4.5 seconds back, as St. Jean appears to be getting faster. He has caught Schilling. And Derek Schilling is bringing it down pit road. Tim St. Jean now moving up into 7th. The points leader doing everything he can here. Mark Nelson again has closed the gap on the leader. It is now down to 10.25 seconds. Jeff Oaks, meanwhile, has had to come through a little bit of lap traffic. Mark, though, continuing to close the gap. Richie Joplin back in 3rd, not gaining any ground at the moment. Rod Potgieter now in 4th, 6.8 seconds back, but is closing in on Richie. The leader is on pit road. Mark Nelson appears to be headed to pit road here as well. Richie Joplin now headed in. Rod Potgieter is going to stay out. Daryl Klotz is on pit road. Kevin Bruner is going to stay out another lap here. Tim St. Jean currently in 7th. The points leader is headed in. Gerald Poole is going to go ahead and stay out, stretch it another lap. Jeff Oaks and Mark Nelson have completed their stops. Jeff came off pit road, had gained another 1.5 seconds. Jeff now 12 seconds ahead of Mark again. Jess Chambers is pitted. Tim St. Jean is pitted. Rod Potgieter, Kevin Bruner, and Gerald Poole chose to stay out an extra lap. Rod Potgieter in the lead. I think he's trying to pick up a few bonus points here, leading a lap. Rod currently 18th in points. Should see Potgieter in this time. Yep, here he comes. Kevin Bruner coming through that final turn. He is going to bring it in as Jeff Oakes drifted it out of the final turn. 9 laps to go now for Jeff Oakes as he reclaims the lead. Mark Nelson comes over the top of the hill and moves back up into second place. Richie Joplin comes across in third. Gerald Poole now on pit road. Rod Potgieter back out off pit road in 5th. Kevin Bruner comes out in 6th. And Jeff Oakes' lead now over 15 and a half seconds on Mark Nelson. Richie Joplin in third, another 10 and a half seconds back. Daryl Klotz in fourth, 7.4 seconds back, and closing in on Richie. Rod Potgieter in fifth, 6.5 seconds back. Kevin Bruner in sixth, about 9 seconds back from Potgieter. Derek Schilling in seventh. Schilling about 13 seconds back. Points leader Tim St. Jean currently runs in eighth, about 13.6 seconds back. Gerald Poole now in ninth and Jess Chambers in 10th. And Jeff Oakes just set the fastest lap of the race. By quite a big margin. The second fastest lap on track is held by Richie Joplin, 2:18.11. Last time by, Jeff Oakes, 2:217.03, over a second faster. Daryl Klotz back and forth, still closing the gap on Richie, 6.7 seconds back. Mark Nelson in second is setting some blistering laps, but still losing ground to the leader, now almost 16.5 seconds back, as Jess Chambers has had a problem. Jess Chambers into that sharp right-hander off the back straightaway, on the power, back snaps out. Fishtails it a little bit, gathers it up, and gets it going again. But a big loss of momentum there. Seven laps to go. Everybody fairly spaced out at the moment. Nobody battling, but looks like we might have a couple before the end of this one, as Podgeter is closing in on Daryl Klotz, and Klotz is closing in on Richie Joplin. Derek Schilling has had a problem. He is towed to pit road. Schilling headed through the kink. Oh! See if we can see a different angle on this. Look like Schilling comes through the kink and just overshoots exit, smacks it hard into the wall, into the fence. Comes back across right in front of James Lacey, and a hard hit to the inside wall. Jeff Oaks has been on another, just in another dimension since the green flag dropped. He had a 3.5 second lead at the end of the first lap. He has been completely unstoppable tonight. Daryl Klotz back and forth, continues to reel in Richie Joplin, but Podgeter is getting closer and closer and closer. And there you see Jeff Oaks coming out of the turn on the power, just sliding the back end around. And folks, don't forget the HTSAI Community Convoy is up and running right now, and she will be live with a special surprise just moments after the race. Jeff Oaks way out front, Mark Nelson in second, Richie Joplin in third, Daryl Klotz in fourth, Rod Podgeter in fifth, Kevin Bruner holding sixth, Tim St. Jean has now moved up into seventh, that should help Tim hold on to his points lead. Kevin Bruner only one spot ahead of Tim right now. Richie Joplin sits in third, but is 15 points back. Oh, Kevin, I don't know that would ever happen. I mean, you're welcome to ask her, but I said surprise, not miracle. Hey, good evening, Cody Young. Five laps to go for Jeff Oakes on a dominant race. Mark Nelson has only had about 2 laps out of 20 that he has gained any ground on the leader. Richie Joplin had a couple of off tracks that have sent him back to third. He is maintaining a very quick pace but not gaining any ground. Darrell Klotz back at fourth is going to be in trouble. Here comes Potgieter. Rod just about 2 seconds behind Klotz. Whoa! Apparently Rod Potgieter went to the Jeff Oakes School of Road Racing. Four-wheel drifting it through some of these turns. Kevin Bruner back in 6th. Tim St. Jean in 7th. Tim was closing on Bruner a few moments ago, but hasn't picked up any more ground. Gerald Poole currently in 8th. Jess Chambers in 9th. And James Lacey in 10th. Derek Schilling is out of the race now. Mike Burgess is still on pit road. Potgieter now just 1.5 seconds behind Klotz. And he is closing in quickly with 4 laps to go. He is also faster than third place Richie Joplin, but 5.8 seconds back from Richie. He's going to need a miracle to catch him. Last time by, Mark Nelson had his 3rd lap of the race that he has gained ground on the leader by 0.2 of a second. However, 2/10, there you go, Jeff Oakes sliding it out of the final turn. Two-tenths of a second from Mark Nelson is not doing much to close that 17-second lead. And it appears that Oaks has slowed down. Is he conserving fuel? Last time by, Jeff Oaks did a 221.28. Mark Nelson, 219.93. Gained almost 1.5 seconds. 3 laps to go. Jeff Oaks can afford to give up a little bit of time. Mark Nelson now has a 20-second lead on third place Richie Joplin. Darrell Klotz is closing in on Richie, just 3 seconds back. Potgieter has lost some ground to Klotz. He is now 2.8 seconds back. He's going to have to kick it in gear if he's going to catch up to Klotz. Meanwhile, Klotz has kicked it into gear, trying to run down Richie Joplin. Oh, Jeff Oaks slides it again. If you haven't seen it, go back and check out on our YouTube channel. Last season, when they ran at Circuit of the Americas, you'll see just how much Jeff Oaks can slide a car through a turn and keep going the right way. Rod Potgieter has just taken 4th place from Klotz. Klotz not letting him get by. Looks like both of them had a short off track. A moment ago, Rod's was shorter and he recovered quicker. That did give Richie Joplin some breathing room. He now has 7.25 seconds ahead of Potgieter. Jeff Oaks headed to the final sector of this track. James Lacey has had a problem back behind. James coming out of turn 2, headed down the hill towards turn 3. Completely missed his braking point, locked him up. Couldn't get the car to turn, had to slow way down. Quickly recovers, gets it rolling again. Darrell Klotz still within striking distance of Rod Potgieter. Oh! Something just went wrong with Potgieter. See if we can dial up his in-car camera. I have no idea what just happened there. Rod Potgieter just shot back by as Jeff Oaks gets the white flag one more time around. There's Rod coming out of the turn. Oh, he got on the power. The back end just snaps loose. Klotz able to shoot back by. And then moments later, Potgieter recovers the position. Jeff Oaks, a 15.5 second lead at the moment. Mark Nelson in second. Richie Joplin in third. Mike Burgess, after extensive repairs, has come back out. Still significant damage to the car. Rod Potgieter is starting to put some space between him and Klotz. Now 1.7 second gap. Does Darrell have anything left? Meanwhile, here comes Jeff Oaks through the final turns. In his first lap, got a 3.5 second lead, has not looked back, drifts at 1 last time through the final turn. And up the hill, Jeff Oaks dominates tonight at Road America. Mark Nelson will crest the hill, come home in second. And Richie Joplin, out of that final turn, will come home in third. And Richie may move up to second in points. Let's talk to our top three. Richie, man, you were flying in the early going, and one heck of a run tonight.
Yeah, I messed up at the start. I forget what lap it was. I went off the track and got the front end on the left side, and it kind of tightened up the car too much, and I'm not real fast on these road course racing, so I take a good top three. I like to win one time, though.
I hear that, buddy. A great run, nonetheless. Congratulations.
Thank you, Doug. Thank you for broadcasting, man.
My pleasure, buddy. Richie Joplin comes home in third. The Mark Nelson comes home in second. Mark, did you need nitrous, or what did you need to beat him?
Talent.
That last 5 laps, you were actually starting to chop away at the lead.
Yeah, I would do that both runs in the second half, but I think Jeff was just playing with my my soul.
A very real possibility given the speed he had tonight, man. Still a great run, a big lead across the line for second.
Yeah, that was kind of my goal. I knew that I didn't have anything for Jeff. I just knew it, and so I wanted to at least, kind of my goal was to be closer to him than third place was with me and not have any incident points, and I achieved both of those things, so I'll take it.
Well, definitely coming home with no incident points and a podium. A big night for you, buddy. A great job. Congratulations.
Thank you much.
And it does not look like our winner is available. So congratulations once again to Jeff Oaks. Man, what a race. Hey, good evening, Kevin. Now, folks, don't forget, here in just a few moments, the Unicorn will be live. Pay close attention to the camera, ladies and gentlemen. She's got a surprise. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Hope y'all had as much fun as we did. Have a great night, everybody.